You do not create a battlefield code out of thin air. You do not invent a communication system in the middle of the largest war humanity has ever seen. And you certainly do not expect an indigenous language, dismissed, outlawed, nearly erased, to become the backbone of one of the most secure military codes in history. For decades, cryptographers insisted on one rule: every code can be broken. It was a mathematical certainty. All it took was time, samples, and enough trained analysts hammering away at patterns. Japanese cryptographers believed this with absolute confidence. They had broken British Army codes, Dutch naval ciphers, even some early American field codes. They expected the next American system to fall the same way. But in 1942, one young Marine, quiet, concentrated, and carrying a language almost no outsider had ever heard spoken fluently, would help shatter that rule. And the enemy would never recover from the shock. Chester Nez is 21 years old when he steps into the Pacific War. He's from Chichilta, New Mexico, a remote Navajo community where the Red Earth carries stories older than the United States itself. As a child, he was punished in boarding school for speaking Navajo. Teachers washed his mouth with soap. They beat him for refusing to abandon his language. They told him it had no place in the modern world. Now, that same forbidden language is exactly why the Marines choose him. He is one of the original 29 Navajo Code Talkers, selected in 1942 because Navajo has no alphabet, no written form, and only a few dozen non-Navajo adults on Earth can understand it. This isn't just a communication tool. It's a weapon. By the time Chester ships out, the Pacific War is turning into a nightmare of islands, jungles, and Japanese fortifications. Guadalcanal is contested. The Solomon Islands swallow battalion after battalion. The Japanese army controls wide swaths of the Pacific, and U.S. communications, slow, vulnerable, predictable, are costing lives. Every message decoded by the enemy means ambushes, means artillery landing within seconds of a call, means Marines dying before they even reach the beach. The stakes are brutally clear. If the Americans can't communicate faster, they can't win. And now Chester stands on the deck of a transport ship, boots vibrating from the engines, knowing the Marines are about to test something the world has never seen. A code built on a language the enemy doesn't even know exists. He tightens the handset. He waits for the invasion call. And the war begins. The transmission crackles at 0528 hours. Code talkers stand by. Chester grips the handset. He hears the ocean. He hears his own heartbeat. He hears the landing craft slamming down into the surf. Then the command. Send the beach landing coordinates. Now. He inhales once, sharply. And he begins. Not in English. Not in any cipher the Japanese expect. But in Navajo, spoken at a speed of nearly 150 words per minute, twice as fast as most trained radio operators can encode. He sends the first message in 20 seconds. The Japanese intercept it immediately. Every signal is caught by their listening stations on Rabaul, on Bougainville, on the scattered islands where they monitor American chatter. They feed it to their linguists. It makes no sense. To them it sounds like rapid-fire syllables, tonal shifts, concepts layered inside metaphors. They search for repeated numeric patterns. None. They search for codebook structure. None. They search for a root language familiar to the Sino-Tibetan family. But this isn't Sino-Tibetan. This is Athabascan, spoken by fewer than 0.1% of Americans at the time. And the Japanese hit their first wall. Because the words aren't even literal. Chetagahi, turtle, means tank. Dahitai, hummingbird, means fighter plane. Genie, chicken hawk, means dive bomber. Beshodutlis, iron fish, means submarine. Every term is layered. Every meaning must be understood contextually. And Chester and the 28 others have memorized over 400 such terms. He fires off another message. This one just 12 seconds long. A Japanese signals officer marks the intercept. He writes a note in frustration. No discernible pattern. Unknown tongue. Not Chinese. Not Korean. Not Polynesian. Not Indo-European. Then he adds one more line. It is as if they are inventing new words each time. Because in some cases, they are. The Marines expand the vocabulary mid-battle, creating combinations for new weapons, new landmarks, new battalions. The code is alive, changing, adapting. And Chester feels it. The adrenaline, the clarity, the pressure. By late morning, he sent over 200 messages, each one without a single error. Every time the Japanese hit a roadblock, Chester moves faster. He sits in a dugout while mortars land 30 yards away. He sends corrections to artillery teams, coordinates to advancing squads, requests for ammunition, emergency medevac calls, airstrike markers, all in Navajo, all instantly. At 1,400 hours, the Japanese launch a counterattack. Chester hears the warning first, 200 enemy approaching West Ridge. He sends it onward in 9 seconds. Japanese commanders receive no translation. Their cryptographers work frantically. They try identifying phonetic repetition. Still nothing. Then comes the moment where failure seems certain. A shell lands 10 yards from the radio pit. Chester is thrown onto his back. His ears ring. Dirt fills his mouth. The radio clatters across the ground. For a few seconds he can't hear anything except high-pitched static inside his skull. Another Marine shouts at him. But the sound is muffled. He forces himself upright. He crawls to the radio. He checks the handset, cracked but functional. A runner dives into the pit screaming, "We need air support on the ridge now." Chester breathes hard. Every muscle vibrates. He sends the request. He stumbles once, just once, over a word. A split-second pause. Then he steadies himself and continues. 12 Navajo syllables. 6 seconds. 1 life or death message. American dive bombers sweep the ridge within 4 minutes. The counterattack collapses. The Japanese intercept every message that day. They decode 0. Not 1 word. Midway through the campaign, enemy intelligence officers conduct a formal assessment. They estimate they need 20 to 30 Navajo speakers for even a basic phonetic map. They have none. Instead, the transcripts, hundreds of them, are piled into boxes labeled unknown language, no entry point. And then comes the revelation. By September 1942, the Navajo Code Talkers messages, over 800 per battalion, show 0 errors and 0 compromises. Marine officers cannot believe it. How do you break an enemy when every message you send is invisible, instantaneous, and unbreakable? You don't. You win. What no one understands at first is just how strategically devastating this becomes. Before the Navajo system, encoding an artillery request takes 2 to 5 minutes. With Chester and the others? 20 seconds. Before the system, a battalion report takes 30 minutes. With Navajo? Less than 3 minutes. By the time the Marines fight through Tarawa, Bougainville, Peleliu, and Iwo Jima, Code Talkers transmit thousands of messages, all without a single breach. Japanese commanders begin issuing emergency orders. Capture an American radio operator alive. They hope hearing one speak may provide clues. But none of the Navajo are captured. They even attempt phonetic reconstruction, mapping syllables to patterns. It fails. One Japanese officer later admits, "Every time we thought we found a structure, it vanished." The true impact won't be understood until after the war. Historians reviewing decrypted Japanese intelligence reports find the same conclusion again and again. Navajo system unbreakable. No progress. Entire Marine operations, Saipan, Guam, Okinawa, lean on this invisible lifeline. And the enemy never gets close. A language once suppressed becomes the single most secure communication system in World War II. When the war ends, Chester returns to New Mexico. He's 24 years old. He's survived some of the deadliest battles in the Pacific. And he can't tell anyone what he did. The Navajo Code Talker program is classified until 1968. For 23 years he carries the memories silently. The names of friends lost. The voices he heard over shattered radios. The weight of knowing his language helped win a war. When the program is finally declassified, Chester speaks, quietly, humbly, about what the Navajo Code meant. Not just to the Marines, but to his people. A language once beaten out of Navajo children had saved thousands of American lives. Chester Nez becomes the last surviving member of the original 29. He lives until 2014, aged 93. Today their legacy continues to echo through history, because the code was never broken. Not once. Not even close. And in a world dominated by algorithms and encryption, the unbreakable code was ultimately built from something far older. Memory, culture, identity. A language spoken by warriors who were never meant to be forgotten. If this story moved you, please hit that like button. Every click tells the algorithm this piece of history is worth remembering. We're dedicated to rescuing these forgotten stories from the archives. If you want to join us on this mission, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Where are you watching from? Drop a comment with your city or state and tell us if someone in your family served. Thank you for ensuring that Chester Nez and the 29 original Navajo Code Talkers do not disappear into silence. They deserve to be remembered.